What's up, everybody? It's Jared with Capture the Magic, and in today's video, we are going to talk about the ever-ongoing saga of the in-ground lighting at Epcot as Disney's fix to this, which recently this whole area was blocked off due to tripping hazards, due to the, again, ever-ongoing issue of these in-ground lighting elements not quite working or having parts of it stick up, so it's a tripping hazard. Disney's decided the fix for this is just screwing it in and painting it white. This seems, even for Disney, as the maintenance has been the last little bit here, let's say 5 to 8 years, even this is, it's a head scratcher. We'll put it that way. The article from Blog Mickey says, screwed.
What did you say?
Disney begins screwing in ground lighting tripping hazards at Epcot. Says, good morning from Epcot, where we have noticed that Walt Disney World has begun securing the in-ground lighting that recently became a tripping hazard in the reimagined World Celebration Gardens. Earlier this month, we reported that a large part of the marquee in-ground lighting in the World Celebration Gardens had been blocked off to guests, likely as a safety measure. The in-ground lighting had become a tripping hazard, with majority of the plastic strips coming dislodged from the ground, rising up to create a hazard for guests. Walt Disney World has been battling this in-ground lighting essentially from the day that it opened to guests. The hazard created by the lighting had reached a point where immediate mitigation became difficult. While visiting Epcot this morning, we noticed that a number of the plastic lighting strips have been secured with screws, likely a temporary measure as Walt Disney World Imagineering dreams up a solution for the failed lighting package. They said the solution for now appears to be screw the faulty plastic strips into the ground. The blue screws have been sent through the plastic and painted white. It's an inelegant solution, but a solution nonetheless, as Imagineering hopefully goes back to the drawing board. Of course, it's an assumption that this solution isn't permanent, but we certainly hope that this isn't the type of repair that Walt Disney Imagineering wants to be permanently in place, but who knows? If I had to guess, this was an operational quick fix to get the area safe and reopened, and said, here's a look. I mean, from this angle here, I mean, this looks like it's still sticking up. Like a screw sticking out of the ground can still make you trip. But yeah, they've just got screws in this area to get them fastened down, I suppose. And it looks like, I mean, even on some of these, I mean, the holes are loose. Like, the thing that gets me, I grew up, my grandfather was a handyman, so I've done a lot of handyman type work over the years. What gets me about this is it can't be a permanent solution, because at some point, if that plastic is pulling up and all you have is a screw sitting there, I mean, at some point, it will pull over that screw, because these plastic pieces will, especially being hot, plastic is, much more pliable. These are likely to just eventually go over the screws because the holes will widen is the other thing. So this really honestly can't be a permanent solution. I would assume also putting in a washer to make that area kind of smooth it out using different type of screw there could have been a better thing here. But I think those blue screws are concrete screws, so they're likely trying to screw those into the concrete below it, would be my guess. It says, when it worked, the in-ground lighting was nice, synchronizing with Spaceship Earth, exterior lighting, and other lighting elements from within World Celebration. Of course, that could only be enjoyed after sunset, with many guests complaining about the lack of kinetic energy in the area following the removal of the Fountain of Nations and reimagining of the area. At this point, we'd love to see Disney go back to the drawing board to figure out a way to introduce some kinetic energy to the gardens area. That said, it is very hard to believe that there would be any appetite to close off the area and create something new. Instead, we could imagine that Disney finds a way to either secure the lighting in a more elegant way or simply fill in the lighting with concrete and call it a day. Yeah, I mean, you talk about the Epcot Overhaul, and just to say the whole thing has been just underwhelming is quite the understatement. And especially taking out the Fountain of Nations was, I loved the Fountain of Nations. I thought it was a really cool aspect of this park. And really, I liked how Epcot was before, with how it was symmetrical when you looked at it from above. And there are things that they could have done to update it all. But I think taking out the fountains, replacing it with this gardens area was underwhelming. And when these lights have been working at night, like, they do look cool. I mean, it's a nice effect. But again, we're talking about things here that this isn't groundbreaking technology to have in-ground lighting synced up with music. I mean, this is a very entry-level effect you could do in a theme park. While it is very cool and it works, but it's not like you're dealing with this cutting-edge technology that they're just trying to make work because they created something brand new. I mean, again, look at Epic Universe. They have figured this out. Even Epcot, before they did all this, had in-ground lighting in areas that worked for decades. So this is really baffling. as to not only the lack of, just like they said, kinetic energy and things going on here, but just the fact they can't even get this in-ground lighting to work. And it was literally having issues the day it opened. And it seems like the background lore on this is apparently either it wasn't relayed to maintenance or maintenance didn't follow the directions, but they pressure washed this area, which broke the seals on this in-ground lighting. And ever since then, they've had issues with this. And in speaking of my granddad, he always would say, do it right the first time. Take the time, take the money, do it right the first time, because you've got to go redo it. It's going to take more time and money. And I would love to know the original bid or how much they intended to spend on this area and how much they've spent since they've been trying to patchwork this to make it work. And they're still having these issues, and really what the problem is here. I mean, if it is an issue of materials or if the way this whole area was designed, like I kind of wonder if this whole thing was just poorly designed for this area, for the function, for this high traffic area. And we're just seeing the results of this now, is it just never was going to be able to hold up to this type of, constant people walking on it, strollers, ECVs, all this stuff on here. And why they just don't go in and fix it, why they just don't spend the extra money, go in here, give it a permanent fix here, and finally be done with the constant looking at this area, screwing in plastic areas with screws. Like, it's just not a great look. I would expect this type of thing to happen at a regional theme park, not Walt Disney World, which is the #1 theme park destination in the world. This is not the level of detail that Disney is known for. But sadly, when it comes to maintenance over the years, these are kind of patchwork things we've come to expect many times in a brand new area that's barely been open. It hasn't been open for 2 years yet. I think it opened late in 2023, and you're already having this much issues. I don't think this area is going to age well. With this issue and some of the other elements they chose to use for construction here have not also aged well just after that short amount of time. And I agree, though. I don't think Disney's going to have the appetite to go in here and fix this, considering they're also doing all the construction in Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. So there's already a bunch of construction projects going on. And I just don't think they're going to allot the money for this one to do it. You very well could see a situation where they just decide to get rid of this, get rid of the in-ground lighting. They still have those pillars that you can see here in these pictures, that those have lights at night as well. They could just get rid of this in-ground lighting, fill it with concrete, and just act like it never happened. That very well could be the solution they end up coming up with here, because I think doing it the right way here is a feasible solution, but you would have to shut this area down. I don't know how long that would take, but I have heard reports about who Disney chooses for some of this stuff. They're almost forced to go with the lowest bidder many times as a company rule. And I think many times you're seeing the effects of going with just the cheapest bids when you have materials that are not, shouldn't be used for Florida climate, or in-ground lighting elements that I think are graded for more of a high traffic area perhaps, or much more durable than these are. But I don't know what else to say. This solution here surely can't be permanent. I don't think that's going to stick. Again, hot plastic in the hot summer sun. Eventually these screws are going to come up, or that plastic is going to come up around those screws. But it also just looks bad. I mean, again, it's just blue, screws that you've painted white. And that, as people roll over that and walk over that, that white paint is going to chip off. So you'd almost have to paint these on a nightly basis or a weekly basis to make sure that they stay white. So it's just a weird look. It really is almost a perfect illustration of kind of where Imagineering is now, or at least so many people, where Imagineering currently is in terms of short-term fixes, nothing getting fixed the right way. Also, when it comes to maintenance, and that's been lacking in the parks. And I think the Epcot Overhaul is just sort of a culmination of all of that. And, when it comes to the future projects Disney's doing, it doesn't elicit a lot of hope that these things are going to be just the top-level, highest tech things going to work right off the bat. It makes you think that there's going to be ongoing issues. Because if you can't get simple in-ground lighting done correctly, and you're screwing it into the ground at this point. I mean, it's not a direct correlation, but it is easy to sit here and say, like, this is not that difficult of a project that you should have these many issues with it since it opened. And then what does this mean for other things that you're going to build? So I think it would be in Disney's best interest to actually shut this down, deal with whatever backlash would be there, and just get it done right. I don't want to see it get filled in with concrete. I think the lighting elements of this at night do look really cool. But if you can't get it fixed, it's not worth the bad look of continually having to go in here and mess with these things and screw these areas in. And people are already looking at this a lot when they come to the park, and it's just become a thing. I just don't understand the thinking behind this, whether it's a lack of budget, you didn't use the right people, right materials, whatever it is. I feel like this could be fixed if there's a will, but I don't know how much of a will there is, considering this has been an ongoing issue ever since it opened. But as of now, I suppose it's open. I guess it's not a tripping hazard. Although, again, some of these screws look like they're already kind of sticking out there a little bit. But I guess as of now, it's not blocked off. And I guess the lights work at night. I don't know. Maybe a nightly basis thing. But that is the current status of the in-ground lighting at Epcot. I don't think it's an elegant solution, and hopefully not a permanent one. But I guess we will see eventually if they end up updating this. But as things change on this, or if anything does change on this, I'll be sure to let you know on here. But either way, that's all I got on this. Very perplexing, and we'll see what happens here. But either way, that's going to be it, though, for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. As we do, it's coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about the current status of the Epcot in-ground lighting? And do you think this is their permanent solution to this problem? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.